G'day mate, how's it going? Bloody fantastic, I hope. So, I actually used to be have a phobia of doing videos of myself, and I still, well, I don't know, whatever. Don't really much care anymore. So yeah, it's been some good practice. The only reason I ever started sharing my thoughts about things and stuff through the use of video was because I had been was just simply yelled at and then hung up on and then blocked for several weeks by, my now ex-partner. And that was it. And there was no way to reconcile anything. It was pretty tormenting. It was very tormenting. And I tried to peacefully communicate, say, hey, can you please just have a conversation with me? Let me speak to you. But it was just complete and utter slam the door in my face, and no chance of any sort of communicating healthily in a healthy way to just fix anything or make anything right again or anything like that. And so I thought that was pretty harsh. I still think that's really harsh. It's such a horrible thing to put somebody through. And so I basically, after so long, holding it all inside, I thought, well, you know what? I'm just gonna talk about it. Because, first of all, I've been living in isolation complete isolation for so long, and that has really sort of done my head in. That whole cycle is coming to an end soon, so I'm very happy about that. And it's been very depressing living in the mountains by myself. So anyway, so there was a whole bunch of the only thing I could really do, because I was denied any sort of communication, was speculate. So when that happened, anyway, he was very, very upset with me about something, and yeah, I had just been sick for 4 days, and literally was on death's doorstep, and I literally felt like I was dying. I wasn't dying, but I felt like it. And was starting to prepare to go out there. And anyway, long story short, we were both kind of a bit stressed. But I figured, after a little while, hey, let's talk about what happened. And just sort of, clear the air and that sort of thing. But that was even too much, or too painful, or too uncomfortable, or too which, then that on top of long distance relationship is really hard in itself. And so there's already that. So then to add to it, I'm just not going to talk to you again. It's sort of like the biggest fuck you in the history of relationships, when you can't even yeah, it's a horrible thing to do to somebody. And I think that nowadays, shit, this is getting long. I didn't want this to be that long. Okay, I'm gonna hurry up. I think nowadays that a lot of men are raised not really being in touch with their emotions and not being able to comfortably express their emotions without it, just being too much, and have been brought up believing or being taught, or that they're not a man if they're showing any kind of emotion or anything like that, or if they have a conversation and they know they're going to get emotional or something like that, they can't really, or some men anyway, or been brought up to think that, they can't or shouldn't have feelings, or that they're, or that it's wrong, or I don't know, something like that. And I don't really agree with that, I think that that's not right, because just creates all kinds of difficulties in interpersonal relationships and that sort of thing. And yeah, so what I was going to say was that, eventually I don't know, maybe I'll actually use this thing or create another whatever thing, I don't know, to actually talk about something useful, which I can do that too, but I've had too much in my head about crap, and needed to get it out, and needed to handle it, and yada yada. So I never would have done that had I not wait a minute, I'm not gonna say that. I never would have done that had I not been, blocked, shunned, slammed the door in my face. But what? I never would have, I don't know, done anything like this. So who knows? Maybe I'll end up just deleting everything later. I don't know. But I'd really like to get a resolution on, yeah, damn it. He was my best friend. And, fundamentally, I think he's a wonderful person. And, this has been a really tough situation. So, I just think that, if someone's in a long-term relationship and, they share as much as we had, and, he knows everything about me, every part of me. And, you dive into it so deeply with somebody, and then, okay, so there's some other guy out there in the world who knows all my secrets, all my personal whatevers, all my quirks, all my buttons, all my faults, all my good parts too. He knows, like, he's seen everything about me, and he's pretending to be a stranger. And anyway, so what I was just gonna say is just that, yeah, I was, you know, the point is, I want to handle what originally went on, you know. Everything after that is sort of like, okay, well, it's kind of a moot point, because, like, how can you could say, well, I would never, how dare you, I would never speak to anybody ever again that would, you know, do XYZ that happened after the fact. But if you didn't, you know, treat me this way to begin with, like, it wouldn't have happened this way. You know what I mean? Like, this wouldn't have actually happened. So, or if you hadn't have, you know, broken your agreement, or if you hadn't have, whatever, you know, like, it wouldn't have played out in such a way. So, yeah. But anyway, the past 2.5 years have been really like a sort of depressing cycle for me. And I'm really happy that it's going to be coming to an end. I still have to, like, you know, there's still little bits and pieces I have to do to get myself all fixed up and, you know, like, slowly kind of backtrack to who I really am, you know, and, like, because I've really let myself fall into the trap of just some really bad habits and you know, laziness and just, I don't know, stuff that is not contributing to really excelling in life and doing really well and creating a lot of wealth and, you know, achieving goals. And oh my God, I just, like, forget it. Like, I haven't been able to achieve anything for the past God knows how long, because, I mean, my friend Ben I was talking to last night, he understands, like, he gets it. His in-laws live in the mountains, like, way up in the mountains, you know, away from everything. You have to drive an hour and a half to get anywhere, do anything, and it's just, it's ridiculous. So that has really kind of dragged me down. And, yeah. I'm really happy that I'm gonna start to be upcycling instead of downward cycling, going down and down and down and down and down. And anybody else who understands, like, what it's like living in isolation, it's really hard. It's like a mental prison. Anyway, I gotta go. I gotta drive. Go away.